Hey everybody, it's Tiffany from The Organized Option, and I got asked last week about how to organize your Diamond Press inks. Now, Diamond Press also makes little cube inks, and we've talked about cube ink storage before. They're going to fit with all the rest of our cube ink storage, but their ink pads are a little bit of an odd shape, and they come in these really kind of fun yet funky shaped containers. So if you would like to keep them in the containers, they all stack up nice together. There are pros and cons to this type of container. Obviously, they're cute, they're fun, they keep everything together. They stack up nicely. Those are all great things. It's hard to see. You'd have to get some labels on the outside there for what's in there. And yeah, digging down through them can be kind of a challenge. But so if you want to keep them in the containers, which I certainly could see why you would want to do that, we don't really have great options, but I'll tell you what we do have. We have the Kirsten Zip and Go bag. So if you were going to stack these inside the Kirsten Zip and Go bag for storage, and you were going to leave it on its edge, on its side like this, which we do with like the Kimberly bag, right? When we're storing our markers. So you could probably get in here, I would say I've got 3 in there and I'm not halfway, somewhere between 8 and 10. I only have 3, but I would say somewhere between 8 and 10 sets are going to fit in there. Now, you would want to store it flat though, right? Because you want to keep those inks flat. So, well, actually, there is a handle on the top of the Kirsten also. So think about that, unlike what I just did, when you're storing them, if you're using Kirsten. And then if you get those labels on the outside, I mean, on the containers, you can see through the top, you know, what colors are which, but it's a good way to store them just flat on the shelf and have them all contained in one, if you want to keep them in their containers. Now, if you don't have a lot of them, they will also fit in our number 5 Create a Case, which is the Simply Squared Create a Case. Right, so they're just going to pop right in there. There is some room to work here. I think I've got 3. I think you could get 4 into this Create a Case, and that way when you closed it up, it would be nice and tight. It would hold all those lids on. If you were traveling with this, that would work really well, right? So maybe you're just keeping them on the shelf at home and you want some way to travel with just a few of them. I would say up to 4. Those are going to work in the Create a Case number 5, the Simply Squared Create a Case. Now, if you want to take them out of the containers, we've got a couple of options for you. So this is the number 6. It's called the Tiny Tote, and it works for Alta New and Tim Holtz Distress. And also here in the bottom of these purple inks, these are the Diamond Press inks. And so they look like they're square in there. I'll take these out here. But you can see I just have them in the diamond. They're the straight edges forward. But they do store really nicely in there as well. And you're probably going to, I've got 4, at least 8, maybe 10 into the tiny traveler here. So that it would work great that way. If you want to open them and keep them all like we do with our other inks using the Chassity bag, they fit perfectly in Chassity as well. So as you know, Alta New fits in there, and then you can label them, get those colored labels on the side, put them into the boxes. Now, again, you're probably going to get 5 per box. That's going to give you 20 or 5 sets. I think you can get 5 in there. So I'll say up to 5 sets in the Chassity bag. So if you're looking to keep all of your inks together and get those color labels on there and be able to see everything at one time, that's a great way to store them as well. So regardless of whether you're keeping them together or you're using, or you want to put them in something that's a little smaller and easier to work with, the Diamond Press inks are going to fit perfectly in Chassity. Smaller quantities are going to fit in the number 6 Tiny Traveler Create a Case. The bigger sets of them, you are going to be able to put into the number 5 Simply Squared, or if you have lots of them and you want to store them on a shelf in this type of bag, they are going to fit in the Kirsten bag. All right, my friends, thanks for tuning in to learn a little bit about how to store your diamond pressed inks with the organize option. I'll talk to you soon.